So in preparation of doing my top 10 2024 films, I thought I would do some genre films leading up until that point. So today we're going to do their top 5 best action films of 2024. Action movies are one of my favorite genres. It's the type of film that you can go to the movies and kind of shut your brain off and have true escapism fun. If the script isn't the greatest, as long as the action is really good, you can have a really great time with it. But this year we had some truly exceptional pieces of cinema. Number 5, it's going to be a little Netflix movie that made a big splash when it first came out. It was a great Christmas time movie. It's called Carry On, and it is just really fun throwback to classic action movies of like the 90s and 80s. It's a film that has a very predictable plot, but what it does, interestingly enough, is the cat and mouse game between Taron Egerton and Jason Bateman. It's one of those slow burn movies that it doesn't really start with a lot of action in the beginning. It's more of a psychological kind of thriller-esque film. It's interesting to see how Jason Bateman always one-ups what Taron Egerton's character is about to do. But then you do get some really fun chase sequences and action moments at the end of the film. Number 4, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. I feel like this is a great companion piece to Mad Max Fury Road. It really tells the backstory of Furiosa, which was pretty much the lead in Mad Max Fury Road, and she's even more fleshed out here. You get to see her tragic backstory. Anya Taylor-Joy is a great addition, and she captures the spirit of Furiosa very well. The other big standout is Chris Hemsworth, who gives a wacky and fun and entertaining performance. And George Miller does an excellent job of directing action. It has some of the best quick edits and sweeping camera movements. I do feel like it's not up there with what Mad Max Fury Road did, but it is very comparable in terms of the scope and scale that it was trying to achieve. It still has some of the most adrenaline-filled action moments throughout the film, and it's an over 2-hour movie that goes by pretty quick. Number 3, it's a movie that is thin on plot, but is great on action sequences. It's Kill. It's about one man's devotion for his loved one and trying to rescue her on this train ride. You get some of the most intense action sequences, his sheer will, the creativity with what they do these moments with. It's a lot of enclosed spaces, and there's some really wicked and brutal action sequences. Probably the best action that's been directed all year. And it's just done in such an exceptional and enthralling way that keeps you watching. It lives up to the namesake, Kill, and all he does is kill in this movie, and it's just entertaining to watch, and you do care about the character and his motivation and the other characters around him. But again, some of the best action sequences were directed in this movie. Number 2 is going to be Monkey Man. This was a movie that came out and was talked about a good amount when it first released, but it kind of died out throughout the year. But this movie is truly exceptional. Dev Patel's directorial debut. He gives a stellar performance. I do love the history, the culture, the action sequences that this movie is infused with. The story and the parallels of Hanuman, the parallels with Hanuman throughout this film really made me think of like the stories I was told as a child, and it really does resonate with me on a much spiritual level, aside from just being a great film about a man just trying to seek revenge for the wrongs that were done in his life. The acting is phenomenal. The action sequences are directed well. I wish there was a little less shaky cam and these like close quarters shots, but overall it is a fantastic movie, totally worth checking out, especially for people that love revenge thrillers. And my number 1 favorite action movie of 2024 is Gladiator 2. I think this just captures the theatrics, the glory of what makes Gladiator. I do think it's better than the first Gladiator film. It is just bigger in scope. I feel like it has a brisker pace. It doesn't really do this weird like Oscar-y moments where it slows down and becomes kind of ethereal, but what you do get is some really interesting character work from Paul Mescal, from Pedro Pascal, and of course Denzel Washington. I think this is just truly like a movie that you just go in for the entertainment, and I was totally entertained from beginning to end, and I enjoy this movie way too much for what I was getting.